My name is Architect Mwangi Kimemia, and today we are here at the site in Karen that I presented for my Borax exams. As you can see, this is the house in Marulal in Karen. So I managed to emerge as the best candidate overall and best in paper one. This project was a key area in which I managed to get the skills that I needed to get ready for the exam. In terms of my background, I went to the University of Nairobi, where I pursued the Bachelor of Architecture and Architectural Studies. And after that, I have worked architect Eric Kamau and Kyali architect, who are behind this project that we can see here. I have also received a lot of assistance from many other architects. For this project, I was taking on the role of graduate architect, which involved coming up with the scheme design drawings, the approval drawings, coming for site meetings and site inspections. And I'm very lucky that my boss allowed me to be immersed fully in this project. They delegated a lot of the work to me. It gave me the opportunity to learn the practical aspects of being an architect, which was really helpful when it came to the exam. The training videos done by Borax were also quite helpful in getting ready for the exam. So I would also like to thank them for those videos. In terms of my message to the candidates of 2025 is that I wish you all the best. Anybody can do it. Just need to exert yourself and the sky is the limit. All the best.
My name is Architect Margaret Modoni Kyali. I'm the project architect at Kyali Architects Limited. We work together with Charles Musioka. This is one of our projects right behind me. We welcome young architects, graduate architects to come work with us so that they can be able to pay it forward, as we were also trained by our mentors and our senior architects in the industry. So we received Mwangi Kimemia as a graduate architect from University of Nairobi. In our journey with Mwangi Kimemia, he is a very dedicated student, hardworking and resilient. He is willing and inquisitive enough to seek out solutions. So in our office, we would have design meetings, which would sit together in the office and come up with workable solutions for our projects and for what the client requires of us. So I found that Mwangi Kimemia took time to seek out knowledge from different architects, as he mentioned earlier. And when he came to our office, he was still willing and able to work with us together with our other team members in the office. During our design meetings and our project meetings, he would be involved. Other times we would delegate to him and let him run with it so that he can get a lived experience of how it truly is to come up with a solution for our client for their home. I would like to commend Borax for this opportunity to collaborate with architects in the field, facilitating this journey for architecture graduates and even those of us in the field who have chosen to offer our services to clients. In my experience as an architect and environmental design consultant, we take it very seriously, the site action, the site attendance, site visits and decisions made on the ground. That's one experience we did with Mwangi and Charles. So on this site, we were able to set it out and move back and forth with different solutions because, as you know, the site also demands certain specific responses so that your solution works both as a concept and as a lived experience for the client. So Mwangi would come to site, take records, take minutes, make a few decisions and get back to us on what has transpired on the site so that the client is happy, the client is satisfied. And in that experience, it is very fulfilling to see a young architect who reminds us of where we come from as well, because we also had similar mentors who did a great job mentoring us into this industry. So that is one thing I'm actually very grateful for in this experience. He did a similar kind of input in our other projects of different types, homes, schools, hospitals, etc. So for this site, again, we were able to apply the ideas that have been instilled in us, that we have been practicing and as our firm continues to grow. Mwangi joined us after having seen the world outside the university. So that is one thing I found commendable about him, that he's able to give himself time to see how exactly these ideas we cultivate turn into real tangible solutions for people to use in buildings, in facilities. So the aspect of having taken some time before applying for registration and examination with Borax, because Borax also takes this very seriously. Borax puts in the time and the training, the theory, in training our students. So it is also on our part as graduates and architects to take time, which is a good thing, which has has turned out to become a good thing for Mwangi.
Architect Kyali Musyoka, the managing partner of Kyali Architects Limited, a young firm that was started in 2019. I ran the firm with architect Margaret, who is project manager, and as you can see, she was the one in charge of this project. I'm in charge of contract management in the office, overall coordination and resource allocation. We received Mwangi some time back, and since then he's been with us. He's been very essential in the running of our project. We tried to delegate most of the work that he can be able to handle and guide him on how to handle projects. I remember when I was in school, we were told that an architect is a master builder. And so in our office, we try to train master builders, like people who can run projects by themselves. We've noted that most architects are not able to work with other professionals and understand, like the building services part, the structural part and all that. And so we are able to mentor students to be able to coordinate the other professionals so that they can come up with something that is concrete and they understand all the aspects of built environment. We have actually been allocating resources towards that end to make sure that our young architects are able to go to site and projects with the project architects who are in charge of the work. My message to Borax would be, first of all, to tell them that we are quite grateful for the partnership that we have in training young, especially young architects in the built environment. I would also like to ask Borax if it's possible that they can be part of the training, especially at the graduate level, that they can collaborate with the universities to make sure that by the time that we are onboarding the graduate architects in our firms, they've already gone through some sort of industrial training. The biggest problem we've had with the graduates is that most of them come to our firms and they've not gone through any sort of training, especially in the industry. So most of the time we find ourselves starting from zero. So if Borax could look for a way to collaborate with the universities, so that by the time students are graduating, they've already done an adequate part of industrial training, so that when we get them, we don't put so many resources in training them. That would be very good for the industry.
My name is Gibel Karanja. I'm the project manager for this project. We'll be working with Kyali Architects Limited from the beginning of the project. They've been really helpful in guiding us through the whole design process up until the actual groundbreaking and the building of the structure. Right now we are doing the fit outs and the fittings for the building, and they've been also guiding us on the color scopes and the renders for the project, which I'm very grateful for that. Yeah, we've had a few challenges along the way. Long approval process in the initial beginning of the project, and along the project we had some issues with the county, but then they were able to assist us in attaining the necessary permits and getting the project moving. Through Kyali Architects Limited, we got introduced to architect Mwangi, who was with us through the process of the construction, with the weekly visits, checking up on the different stages of the construction. And when it came into the design of the finishing and the colors of the building, he's the one who was doing the renders for the project. And they were really helpful in also guiding the client into what she would like the final picture to look like. Thank you.